Are you curious about the future of Marvel movies? Let it begin, as we are going to discuss the future Marvel journey for 2025, 2026, and 2027. 2025 releases. 1. Armor Wars, early 2025. Armor Wars co-stars Rhodey, otherwise known as War Machine, who is one of Tony Stark's best friends and allies. Following Stark's demise, Rhodey vows to make sure that Stark technologies do not end up with the wrong people. The Tales is likely to show what goes wrong when those advanced suits and the related technologies be utilized wrongly and cause mayhem all over the world. Using the War Machine armor, Rhodey is faced with a moral and physical challenge of trying to prevent the technologies from falling into the wrong hands. This Tales shall also explore Rhodey's character development, especially after becoming the leader following Stark. We could also see other tech-based hero or villain like Justin Hammer or even Riri Williams, Ironheart, who also partake in safeguarding Stark's inventions. 2. SpiderMan Freshman Year, mid-2025. This splendid animated Tales explores the initial days of Peter Parker while struggling to be a superhero as Spider-Man. The freshman year is the concept that explores Peter's early years as a hero, when he still tried to live the life of a teenager along with being a superhero. The legacy would look at Peter's relationships with Aunt May, his friends, and his first villains such as Norman Osborn, and even with a young Dr. Octopus. The storyline will be revolving around Peter, who wanting a normal life, and blessed with a special ability and great power. You should be able to anticipate, to watch designs of Peter's early costumes, his struggles with his powers, and his initial encounters with street-level villains in this narrative of his youthful years. 3. Daredevil, Born Again, March 18, 2025. Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, returns in Daredevil. Moreover, the prospective movies include No Way Home and also She-Hulk. It will focus on the life of Matt Murdock, who is a blind lawyer, and Daredevil who takes on crime and corruption in the Hell's Kitchen. In Brooklyn, the title of this show tries to hint at the new renewal for him, possibly a born-again theme for Matt to get back on track since Wilson Fisk's Kingpin fall. It is hoped that the show will be edgy and grown up to reflect the tone of the character. Through phases, we are likely to see Vincent D'Onofrio reprising his role as Kingpin, as well as these downscaled threats to Spider-Man, which may include Bullseye. This legacy will explore more of Murdock's internal struggles, Catholic guilt, and internal and external conflict about his violent savant part that wants to justly punish the guilty. 4. Echo, early 2025. Developing on Hawkeye, Echo is about Maya Lopez, a deaf woman who has echolocation and not only has mastered numerous combat styles but can do so through observation alone. First notable character that appeared in Hawkeye was Maya, played by Alaqua Cox. She has skillful ninjas as the tracksuit mafia beneath her. This legacy will reveal her background, starting with her rocky relationship with her dead father, her search for oneself, and link to Kingpin. Many Native American motifs should be expected, as Maya has to take what she is, but at the same time, she has to pay for her sins. With her connections to Kingpin, there could be more overlap with Daredevil, although Clint Barton, Hawkeye, might appear as well. Specific arcs of the legacy will be redemption, vengeance, and search for identity, while Maya tries to create her own destiny. 5. Nova, late 2025. Richard Rider, or as he is more famously known as Nova, is finally introduced into the MCU in this much-needed journey. Nova is a cosmic hero who gets instantaneous superpowers after becoming a Nova Prime, which allows him to harness the Nova Force, which gives him superhuman strength, speed, and powers of flight. Richard is initially a high school kid who becomes the Chosen One after the assassination of Nova, the Nova Force from Xandar planet of Nova Corps, established in Guardians of Galaxy. The journey will see how Richard handles such tremendous pressure of being the lone Nova in the galaxy, all this while trying to save the galaxy from destruction after losing his home planet. There's likely to be appearances from characters such as the Guardians, or even Captain Marvel, as Richard discovers the large hazards of space. 2026 releases. 6. Wonderman, February 2026. Wonderman is the story of Simon Williams, an actor who transforms into a Superman with superhuman strength, speed, and induced longevity. Paulie's history of Simon begins with his connection with Tony Stark's business competitor who attempts to kill the Avengers rather than using him as a test subject for ionic energy to turn him into Wonderman. But you know, Simon does turn into Side of the Heroes and becomes our strongest Avengers. This journey will revisit Simon's character development as a villain to a hero and the issue of playing the dual roles of actor and superhero. It would make sense to find the show mocking celebrity and fame and have Simon on both sides, the celebrities and ordinary man. One can expect that there will be WandaVision characters making appearances because of Simon's extensive connection to the Scarlet Witch in the comic books. 7. The Young Avengers, July 2026. The Young Avengers is assembling a team of new superheroes, most of which has already been featured in the MCU. Expect to see Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, America Chavez, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, and potentially others like Cassie Lang, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. This journey is going to depict how these superheroes gather and come out from their mentors, Tyre Shadow. That means each character has their own beliefs, strengths, and abilities, which makes the team interesting and required to find common goals in order to face new opponents, who are young and energetic. The show is expected to depict the power dynamics on training and the roles of partnerships and purpose of being the future Avenger. 8. ShangChi. They Said Through Words. Wreckage of Time. November 2026. Subsequent to ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Wreckage of Time derives the next chapter of ShangChi moving ahead in mastering the art of martial arts. Having possession of the even more formidable Ten Rings, trained as a super assassin, ShangChi has to come to terms with his father's legacy and the supernatural affiliations related to the rings. This journey will expand on the mysticism started in the first movie with an exploration into multiverse and time travel. ShangChi will face new foes from mystic dimension and potentially even other dimensions to give a sense of timelessness and spacelessness to the coming battle. Wong should make an appearance here, and maybe Doctor Strange as they continue to navigate the consequences of the contracts of other Phases 4, 2027 releases. 9. X-Men, The Mutant Saga, Spring 2027. With The Mutant Saga, X-Men have been brought into the MCU after years of waiting. This saga will present characters like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, and Wolverine, as well as discuss how there have been mutants in the MCU this entire time. New characters are introduced and introduction of new characters. The storyline will be revolving around the hardships of being a mutant in a world that has turned against them. All these with the X-Men trying to defend humanity. It has been reported that the saga would borrow concepts from highly rated X-Men themes. For example, Days of Future Past or House of M in presenting social themes for the successful incorporation of action heroes. It is expected to create a foundation to the involvement of the X-Men in massive MCU activities and possibly other superheroes in future. 10. Secret Wars, late 2027. In light of Secret Wars on a grand scale, this saga will assemble the heroes and villains from parallel worlds and through time, prepare them for an interdimensional battle. An important note here is that there are characters from across the whole MCU as well as Avengers, cosmic characters, and even characters from multiple realities. The show will capitalize on the multiverse that was ignited in Loki and the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and sets the stage for the Secret Wars PT-1 movie in 2028. This saga will play the necessary role in presenting the stakes, which will define future of MCU and unite different universes in one of the largest events in history of superheroes. What can be expected for Marvel movies in the coming years 2025, 2026, 2027, and what other iconic projects Marvel is still set for? From Armor Wars to Nova and the much fan anticipation to meet the X-Men, the next few years are a technological battlefield waiting to explode. Every tale's an opportunity to create new characters, continue a storyline, or advance the MCU in a new direction. And whether you are a fan of crime fighters like Daredevils, warriors from space like ShangChi, or mutants like X-Men, there is something for you. The MCU is a long way from done, and 2025 through 2027 will be the years in defining the new chapter of superhero franchises. Which Marvel journey are you most hyped for? Let me know in the comments and let's discuss. If you want more content like this, Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you soon.